The Joel Fernandez Show is a talk show channeled spontaneously from source to edify and help raise the vibrations of truthers, starseeds, Christic alchemists, and others who have seen through this illusionary matrix into messianic consciousness by discussing hidden knowledge, higher dimensions, and manifesting so that we can shine our light for everyone to see and co-create the earth that we know we actually deserve to live in. Don't! I gotta go! I'm working on the show!
Here we go.
Kind of went off tune there, but hey. But yeah, if you guys want to know why I haven't been making videos, or at least uploading them, I have like 3 or 4 Joel Fernandez shows that have already been recorded. It's just, I'm busy with editing some other videos, and if you guys haven't checked out, on my Telegram channel, I linked my other Telegram channel, which I'm editing all those videos on. So check that out. It's Project Exodus, documenting the mass exodus and the mass awakening of our times. Welcome everybody to the Joel Fernandes Show. I'm Joel Fernandes, and what do you know? Here I am in Studio B. I think I'm gonna start calling it Studio P. With all the pianos that are surrounding me. But guess what? This is manifesting, guys. This is manifesting to the nth degree. But, you know, literally, I didn't ask for this one, I didn't ask for that one, and it just kind of shows up. And that's what manifesting is, right? And that's why I haven't been uploading videos. It's just that things have been accelerating beyond belief, and it's not like I've just stopped. It's not like this whole project has evaporated. In fact, this whole thing has graduated. Let's just put it that way. Everything is falling together in such a precise manner. Like I said, like, I couldn't have asked for this baby. You know? And like, I thought I was blessed with this, and honestly, this is my baby. But everything that's just falling together, and with the video editing, what I'm talking about there is everything is just falling together. And like, with the video editing, the reason why I'm not editing the Joel Fernandes shows, now I have like 3 shows that are already filmed and recorded, and a whole bunch of stuff has happened since recording them. But the thing about getting to that is that I'm actually occupied editing much more important videos. It's not to say that this message is any less important, but it's already been documented, you know, all of last year. We have 50 plus episodes that you can go back and rewatch and really, you know, digest some of that stuff, because a lot of it doesn't hit you the first time around. Even me speaking this stuff, I'm speaking it, I'm living it, but you know, when I'm playing back my own videos, editing them and listening to all that I have to say, you know, some of it even blows me out of the water still. And you know what? We have this archive at our disposal, so we shouldn't, you know, ignore it. We shouldn't play it down. We shouldn't downplay it. Not at all. Not at all, because this is literally the very catalyst that will bring us forward. It's the paradigm, the narrative that you believe, you know, and who are you listening to? You know, who are you listening to? You know, Isayahu even asked, like, whose report are you going to believe? And all of what we manifest hinges on that. It's like, what are you feeding through your ear gate, your eye gate? What are you feeding your head with? You know, don't forget to feed your head, but make sure you're eating a proper mental diet. And you know what? It's like Yeshua said also, it's like when we look at the physical aspect of things, we're completely blinded from the real cause of everything. You know, so we're looking at the food we're eating, you know, and of course I'm saying keep a good diet. You know, I profess to this myself, but what I'm talking about is your diet's not going to be any good if you're feeding your mental space, if you're having a mental diet of, you know, trash. And that's what it all comes down to. And that's the thing that manifested this. I cut out all of that negativity, all of the programming of the world, and I started realizing that, you know, hey, this is my right. I am a joint heir, right? I'm more than conquerors. Guess what? And all of that manifested because of Christ in me. It's just all fallen together. And like I said, it's not just 3 keyboards. We have more keyboards in this house than people, and that is just amazing. So manifest, guys. Just learn how to manifest. It's literally the easiest thing. This is our skill as beings of awareness. This is how we are created, in the image. Elohim spoke the word and created the worlds. And that is our power. So what words are we feeding in through our ears? Because guess what? The fruit and the trees that grow are only dependent on the seeds that are sown. And what seeds have you been sowing? Not just your physical actions in the world around you. That's important. But in order to sow the right actions, you have to have the right information in order to make those decisions, to make those actions. So what are you feeding yourselves? Are you feeding yourselves more CNN? Or are you feeding yourselves more of that which edifies you and builds you up and tells you, this is your potential, this is your future, you were born for such a time as this? Are you fulfilling your destiny? Are you manifesting the visions that are in your heart? Because those visions are in your heart for a reason, They're not programmed there. And if they are programmed there, the more you get in tune with them, the more you're able to work out what exactly is the programming and what exactly is really intrinsic to your being and your calling and the reason why you're in this earth. And when we really tap into that, literally the destiny unfolds and chases us. It's like, with editing videos for the cause, I got to be careful what I say here on YouTube because they do shadow ban and all that stuff. I don't want any problems with that ever again. But when I'm doing all these things, it's like people are chasing me saying, hey, guy, can you do this video? And it's like, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for the cause. But also, it's also growing that media network, which I founded, which is Project Exodus. It came to me as a documentation of this exodus that people are doing, waking up and coming out of the system, because the system is being exposed, and it's that system that's literally coming crashing down. And we realized that we had this authority all along. Even me, like, it blows me out of the water when I manifested that car, when I've manifested, businesses, like even the last office I had when I got out of that bind with the first print shop, and then I had a piano, not this piano, but I had another piano in that office, and it was amazing. I was literally blessed, and I could just see that this thing was just flooding in, and then I got caught up with the physical and got involved in trying to make things work through my works, and what do you know it, I ended up at IKEA for 3.5 years or so. So that was a big speed bump, but even that taught me a whole lot, and when I'm manifesting now, it's just that I know it's all there within me. And when I manifested my car, that potential pulled me into an even greater potential. Because in the physical, I hadn't even known anything beyond that physical space. But, it just propels you forward. Like, I'm getting so excited talking about this. Honestly, like, this in and of itself is exciting. But when I'm talking about how manifestation actually pulls you even forward, even more forward than what you thought you were manifesting in the first place, with the car, and with this thing, I just wanted a portable keyboard that I can take to the cave of Adulam, and I can have at home, and I can, have it between, my bedroom isn't really a studio right now, so my bedroom / Studio A, and, just carry it around with me so that I'm not, bound to this Studio B basement room where sometimes it does get kind of cold. And then playing the piano in a cold room with cold keys leads to cold fingers, then you can't play. But look at this. Now, I didn't even anticipate this, but it even came with its full-on drawbar pipe organ. I should probably get out of the key of C. I mean, I know a lot of other keys. But F sharp on this keyboard doesn't sound as crisp as it, it did when I tuned this. It's that major third that really gives it that vibrancy. And of course, on this one, you can kind of tell, but this guy's really out of tune. Got to take care of him. But you saw what I did in the last episode by the time this episode is up. For Elise, my very first piece. Back in the day, when I first just said, you know what, I can play piano. we went online, and back then it was just like virtualsheetmusic.com or whatever. And we could just download the first sheet, right, as a preview. So I downloaded a bunch of first sheets, and it was amazing. I would just play it, and then they're like, hey, you should play in the competition this year. And I was 13. I'd never played piano before that, up until that year. And, well, let's just say performance-wise, I didn't know what I was doing. But within 4 years, I played a rendition of Amazing Grace. And it took me to the international competition. And when I played internationally, I got 6th place. Which, let's just say it's pretty good. I didn't mention, when I played for Elise for the first time, I got 4th place out of 4 contestants. So that says enough. So yeah, that was my first piece ever. It's a shame that this such a popular piece, and it is really beautiful. It's just that it's overplayed so much. It's so overplayed, by the way, that it's the garbage collection truck's theme. And I think Taiwan. And even my aunt back in India, she had a car, but if you put it in reverse, it would play that song. So yeah, it's, you know, it's funny how music kind of just recycles itself, but that's the way of, I guess, common use, right? Is that what they don't want us to do? Maybe that's what they don't want us to do, and that's why copyright laws are so stringent, especially on YouTube. See, if I'm playing one of these pieces, it will still catch the piece and it will censor it, and it will say, even though these pieces are all in public domain, and like I said, now you can just go online and download the full sheet music. It's funny because back in the day, before I knew what I was doing, I was playing Clair de Lune, you know? It's funny, when I actually got this keyboard, the girl that sold it to me, she recognized it from the Korean dramas. And I was like, yeah, it's in one of them. But I was like, this is Debussy, man. This is impressionist music. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that the first time I played it, it's in D flat. And the key of D flat has 5 flats. So normally if you're playing in C, C has no flats. You just play all white keys. But D flat, you're starting on D flat, so in order to play the major scale, you have to go up this way. And 5 of those keys are now black. I didn't know that, so when I was playing Clair de Lune for the first time, I went like this. Something like that. And I was like, why doesn't it sound right, you know? Like, I was like, something's wrong. And I'm just playing on white keys, and I'm like, why is it saying natural when it never said flat in the first place? So I was confused. I had no idea what a key signature was, and I'm like, it's because I'm playing on this inky-dinky keyboard, which, you know, as you heard, they all sound, if you're playing it right, it sounds right. But I was like, something's off, so if I'm playing on a piano, it's going to sound really nice. And you know what? Nobody taught me. Nobody taught me. Only Source taught me, and that's what's so amazing about this. This is a God-given talent, and literally I owe everything just to put it all back to that source. But I was so far gone when I started, I really didn't know what I was getting into, that I thought, like, you know, you play one note, but if you play the 2 notes that are on either side of that note, it will sound like that note. Well, that's not the case, but I really thought that they should all sound theoretically the same, at least the way I was thinking back then. Because that's what's amazing about manifesting. It just kind of lines up, and that's how I know that music is, that music literally is a part of my destiny, is because when I really get into it, it's just like boom, boom, boom. It just flows. So, like, I saw this other Calgarian. He was 8 years old. He's a prodigy. He's Wesley Chu. He's still playing piano. He's amazing. But honestly, like, I just saw him on TV. I was like, I can do that. Plop down. Actually, I took out the keyboard from under my parents' bed, which was sitting there for, years. I never touched it. And then all of a sudden, I just started playing. The only time before that I'd ever touched a keyboard, ever in my life, we had an old piano in one of the churches we used to visit when our church used to have day camp, So, yeah, we used to hang out there, and a couple of my friends, they were actually twins, and they just started playing heart and soul, like... Anyway, I won't get too carried away with that. But literally, like, I was watching them, I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I never heard, well, I had heard a chord progression like that before, but I'd never seen someone just play it so simply. And I was like, hey, that's about all I did. Until that day that I just whipped out that keyboard and I'm like... But I got better, and then eventually... So, it's all a growth process, and like this 30-day challenge that I was doing, like right now it's halfway through the month of March, and I'm halfway through just playing through those pieces. And it was going pretty well till I hit number 16, and all of a sudden, what do you know? But the piece is in G flat, which, I don't mind reading F sharp for some reason, but G flat it just bugs me out. So that was a little bit of a hurdle, but honestly, like one piece a day, no problem. I'm going to be doing something really cool with that, but it's just in the process, and with 30 pieces, like, what are you going to do? You got to kind of just sit back and digest the whole thing and see, like, what's going on here. But, music is a language. It's a literal language. It's not, it's not just a nice, well, it is a nice tune, but that's not all it is, right? Like, I'll explain to you what I mean. Right? There's like a push and a pull. Check it out. Just every single note that comes one after the other. So we have our tonic, in the tonic, and then we have, so it's like, it's leading up to something and it's pulling, and then it reaches this major chord, and it's, so it's obviously this is a waltz, and if you tell, a waltz is kind of a back and forth kind of movement, right? It goes up and then it's held there, and then it comes down, and then it goes back up. Same one, and it comes down. And of course, there's meaning to all the chord progressions here. So if you notice, it goes like this. So that itself is its own kind of syntax. And layered on top of that is like, I don't know if I can explain this in words because it's communicating to me things that I can't put into words. But I can describe how the syntax works. And, you know, guys, maybe if you can, listen to some of these pieces, especially the really more complicated, you know, even as far back as Bach, right? But as you're going through the classical period and even into the romantic period with Beethoven and guys like that, you just look at the nuances they did. Like I was saying in the Discord chat, if you haven't checked out Discord, check out Discord. I post like all crazy stuff, guys, really shattering the matrix. And even my Telegram chat, which used to be named Fernanes, which is now named Project Ardu. Link is all in the description. And the reason why I changed it to Project Ardu is because it's greater than just me. You know, yeah, I'm Fernanes. I'm manifest. That's who I am. And I'm the embodiment of the ultimate deity, which is Christ. And that's the risen Christ, and that goes back to Egypt, guys. The walls of the pyramid. That's why you're not allowed cameras in the Great Pyramid and all those kind of other places. But on top of that, we have something even greater, and we're building this community. And this community is coming through only because of manifesting, because of that power that is within us. And honestly, like, this language that I'm speaking of, it's being taught to me from this inner source, you know, and it's been right in front of us all along. Like I was saying on the Discord chat, you know, that part in the Moonlight Sonata where it's just like Beethoven is so agitated, you know, even the piece is in the tempo presto agitato, meaning like as fast as you can do it and as agitated as you can do it, pretty much. That's the inferred meaning. But, you know, like that. But there's this one part in the piece where, you know, he's all agitated and all of this language, musical language, is coming through, but, you know, you just get a glimpse of just the innocence of his soul. Like, he didn't do anything really, at least consciously perhaps, to deserve this kind of fate where a musician as skilled as him should lose their hearing, right? And you just get a slight glimpse. It's like the sun breaking through the clouds on a stormy day, and you just get that glimpse into his soul that he's literally pleading with Source, like, why, what, you know, what, like, not even why, but the what of it all. And he falls into that, but it doesn't profit anything, so he just is surrounded by his circumstance, you know, and it just spirals and it goes back. This is the part that I'm talking about here.
Wait, I can do this.
How music is actually a language. Like, it literally communicates this kind of stuff beyond, I can't even describe, like, physical words. You know, this is a language in and of itself. And if people like were wondering like how words define our reality, it's a whole other issue. You know, are we limited by the words that we use? is communication much more than just the words? Like before we had words, how were people communicating, right? And how are we built to communicate? A lot of it is through body language, and a lot of that has been, let's just say, messed with over the last little while, and even before that, but especially with the programming that's been going on the last little while. And we don't even know what those regal kind of body postures and behaviors are, because literally we're beings beyond what we imagine ourselves to be. It's like one of the quotes, I can't remember from where, but the thing is that before we used to walk into the cities as kings, and now we're herded in like cattle. And that's exactly what it is. But the Great Awakening, it's really that fire within us that actually allows us to awaken to this kind of level. And when we do, we're going to realize just how powerful this whole situation was in our benefit. So I just wanted to share some of that. This is another Joel Fernandez show that I'm really going to have to dedicate some time to editing and start getting these up. Maybe I'm going to do that this evening. But honestly, I'm so busy editing other videos and literally things taking off all around me. I can't help it. Like on top of these, I got my other instruments, violin, guitar, drums, everything that's around here. We have literally entered, I would say, phase 2, but this has been going on forever, and now we're literally entering what seems to be, that wasn't even a phase before that. Now it seems to be phase 1, and I can only imagine where this is leading. 30 compositions in 30 days, just like that, out of the blue. 2 keyboards just plopped into my lap out of the blue. A Telegram channel where we're dedicated to this kind of awareness media out of the blue. And people are actually more excited about it than me, which is kind of keeping me busy with it. And that's just the way it is. You can't outrun your destiny. When you sow these seeds, it literally just unfolds like this. I just talked to the guy. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at a keyboard, but I don't know about the connections, blah, blah, blah. He's like, here you go. What? And that's how manifesting works, guys. Source pays for everything. So I just want to say, join the community. I'm hosting workshops actually on manifesting, this very topic. If you guys are interested, you can check it out. Join the Discord chat and check out the Telegram link in the description below, because I'm going to be posting everything on there. And even Instagram, I post mostly inspirational stuff, but sometimes there are things going on with this community, and we're all a part of this high vibe tribe. We're all a part of this. Just because I'm not interacting with you physically, you guys, like, I literally think about this channel every single day, and there's not a time that I'm not sending you guys blessings. Maybe not actively, but we're all in this together. And whenever I profit, those of you that have sown into this field, you're going to get a harvest out of this field, whether you see it physically or not. It's going to come to you. And when I say sow, I'm not talking about financial sowing. There are many other ways that you can sow your seeds. It's not you that keeps me afloat. It's source. And from there, so are you. And because of that, we all contribute to the causes of source. And those are the seeds we grow that actually sprout into that harvest. So I love you guys. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I send you blessings, blessings, abundance, prosperity, wholeness, health, prosperity, shalom. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken, nothing out of place. Complete wholeness in every aspect of who you are and what you've come here to do. With that being said, I'm signing out here. I got to get to dinner, which is some amazing Daniel diet. Daniel diet, guys. Daniel diet, because it's breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And literally, till we get out of Babylon, I don't want anything to do with matrix foods. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's me. That's my conviction. And Come out of her, my people, lest you share of her wrath and receive the plagues that are coming upon her. Guys, it's imminent. It's imminent. Like, the convoy was just the tip of the iceberg. It was the tip of the iceberg. And now what's going on in Grand Tartaria, I mean, Eastern Europe. Gotta be careful what I say on here. I'm not gonna say anything. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to understand know what's going on. Know what's going on. So, здравствуйте. I will see you guys in another video. Joel signing out once again. Agape, salaam, namaste, hotep.